African masks can be traced all the way back to the Paleolithic times. They are usually created by professional artists and can be made from various materials such as leather, glass beads, natural fibers, fabrics, different types of wood, and even metals such as brass, tin, and gold. Though wood is not the only material used when making African masks, it is the type of material which is most commonly used. Wood with different hardness and density are used while creating the African masks. In some regions, certain types of wood seem to be preferred, both because of the local availability and because of symbolic significance of the wood linked to the masks. They are often carved from one single piece of wood, with the exception of those masks that are created with movable jaws and the antelope figures in the headpieces of Bamana in Mali. Once a chosen tree has been cut down, the trunk is left to dry for a certain amount of time. The only exception from this is the Dan people in Africa, who are mostly seen working with fresh wood. The trunk is then cut into different chunks, where the artist will later on start the basic carving and shaping with the most basic tools, a knife and a gouge. When the basic shape and main features of the masks are established, finer shaping of surface and gouge is used to produce notches, such as those seen in the hairdos of many masks. Holes in the mask are usually created by using either a hot iron or by boring holes using a kind of awl. The artist then finishes the mask by smoothing the surface using either rough leaves or plants as if they were sandpaper, and rub either plant sap or oil on it. Masks of West Africa are usually classified as either anthropomorphic or zoomorphic, whereas anthropomorphic resemble human forms and zoomorphic represent deities of animal forms. The anthropomorphic masks are always very carefully carved and are often seen with realistic appearances. For many different groups, the masks represent beautiful maidens whose features reflect aesthetic ideal of the people. In contrast, the zoomorphic masks usually represent both dangerous and powerful spirits. These spirits are reflected in intimidating features of the masks, such as gaping jaws, large horns, and wide open big eyes. Some masks also combine both animal and human features. These masks are considered to convey the links between humans and animals and the ability to get control over the various animals and their representing spirits. African masks are highly sought after by many art collectors, as these types of masks are considered to be some of the world's finest creations. They can often be found in different art galleries and museums all over the world. They have a special cultural and traditional significance during masking ceremonies due to the religious and moral expressions they represent. Different African masks are to be worn by chosen or initiated dancers during crop harvesting, peace and trouble times, initiations, war preparation, and various celebrations. The masks can be worn in three different ways: vertically, covering the face as helmets and enhancing the entire head, and as crest resting upon the head, which is commonly covered by material as part of the disguise. The masks are of great significance, as they very often represent different spirits, and the person who wears the mask is seen to be possessed by the spirits of ancestors. In general, ritual ceremonies are seen to depict various deities, both good and evil mythological beings, ancestor spirits, those who have passed on, animal spirits, and other supernatural powers superior to human beings. Masks that represent totem ancestors and human ancestors are often objects of pride within families. When they are considered to be the representing spirits dwelling, masks are often honored with both gifts and curious ceremonies. During these ceremonies, dancers experience going into a deep trance where they are allowed to communicate with their ancestors. It is normal that during these ritual, either a translator or a wise man accompanies the wearer of the mask. This way, the dancer and the translator can bring forth messages from the ancestors that are being communicated with. Songs, dances, and music played with traditional African instruments are always accompanied with these various rituals and ceremonies.